Anthony Rowe here, author of Dollah Sign and the Omega Warlock. It's Friday the 28th. I'm out here chilling. Temple University, Philadelphia, PA, 215. Today I want to talk about Dollah Sign a little bit. I want to talk about how I wrote the book, things I went through in writing the book, and just a little more about what's going on with Dollah Sign and the Omega Warlock. Alright, so I started writing this book, I think it was 2013. Yeah, it was around 2013 I started writing this book. I was actually incarcerated at the time. Yep. I was locked up. I wanted to do a book about magic, fighting a warlock who was kind of a pimp. The book actually takes a turn though. Doesn't really go into pimping too much. I mean, there is sexually explicit scenes, but it's definitely not about pimp with hoes on the corner. You know what I mean? No, it's definitely more of a futuristic sci-fi fantasy magic world. So now when I first wrote this book, I was locked up. I think I was doing 6 months in Northampton County, PA, 610. Shout out to the ABE. So I wrote this book. I ended up going to work release. What ended up happening was when I wrote the book and finished the book, I ended up getting in more trouble while I was in work release. Yeah, go figure. So I had to let somebody read my book, and when I came back to pack my stuff up, the person wasn't around and neither wasn't my book. So I had lost the book. I lost the first copy I have ever written of Dollah Sign and the Omega Warlock. I had ended up getting out of jail and I started rewriting the book again. When I rewrote the book, I found 4 pages. Yeah, only 4 pages. So I had to start all over from scratch and write the 4 pages. Right from the 4 pages. So, I mean, that was a little setback, but still, in all, I got the job done. So now, I just want to say, don't let nothing set you back, because I had to come back from 4 pages. Only 4 pages of my character and what was going on. I remembered the story pretty well, but it's hard to rewrite every scene. But, I think that made the book a better book in itself, because after having to come back through the struggle of losing my book and just being completely distraught and overwhelmed, and dealing with life in general. So that was what happened with the book in the first place. And now I was on probation this time. At the point in time I finished this book, and I ended up getting locked up again for a violation of probation. So right when I was talking to Exlibris Publishing Company, I was incarcerated. I ended up getting the rest of the money to self-publish my book from my stepfather. He had helped me out with a couple $100, but thanks to him too. Thanks, Chris. And I ended up publishing the book while I was actually incarcerated. But I had the book done. I had done all the editing and all the work for the book. Now, this is definitely a rough story. I went through a lot to get this book published. And once it was published, I think I had a press release in 5 different states. And it's globally available online, Amazon and everywhere. Again, that's Dollah Sign and the Omega Warlock, DOLLAH, and the Omega OMEGA Warlock, WARLOCK. You can get it. It's on Amazon. It's a little expensive, but it's the first book and it's a great book, so I definitely think it's worth it. You gotta take a look at that. Now, Dollah Sign, he's like one of them strong, solid characters. Silent, strong, say what he says and mean what he says, and he doesn't take nobody's crap. He is technically a caring individual, but he doesn't really voice that. His actions speak mostly because of that. He's also dangerous and deadly and powerful and cunning and witty and smart. He's tall, handsome, and rugged. The women love him, obviously, because he got the 6 chicks. He went through a lot with those 6 females in general. You'll find that out more throughout the book series itself, especially in book 2. We definitely dive into that more, the history of him and all of his 6 women. But Dollar Sign, yeah, he actually worked for this guy named Macho, who was a really powerful warlock. No, no, not Macho. He worked for Rocky. Now, when back in the day when he used to work for Rocky, he wasn't as powerful, but he was still a powerful warlock. Him and his sister worked for Rocky, and they ran around beefing with the world. Their goal was to take over the world, and Rocky had the most powerful warlocks on his side, so he definitely had Dollar Sign. Dollar Sign is just, like I said, he's a great skilled fighter. His family heritage comes from a long line of strong warlocks who are just really powerful and smart, and it's like in his blood. But his natural instinct was to hustle, get money any way he can. But he had a good business mind. So eventually he got out from under Rocky after all these wars they fought together and battles that they survived. Dollar Sign just wanted to do his own thing. He kept getting more powerful and wanted to do his own thing. Rocky had a tragic incident happen to him, so he had actually stopped his pursuit of taking over the world and let a lot of his henchmen go, except for Big E and Tioni, who were like a power couple, like just really two powerful couples that Rocky had contracted under his team. And of course his brother Andre and his sister, who she had died. Yeah, she died a while back. I mean, if you haven't read the book, you'll learn these things. I mean, it's no big like shocking surprise or anything. I'm not ruining anything for you. It clearly states that she died and everything, and that's one of the main reasons why Rocky gave up on his venture to conquer the whole world. He just didn't feel like it was worth it anymore. And after all that happened, Dollar Sign didn't feel like it was worth it either. His sister split and separate from the team, so that led him more to a concrete decision of, well, I ain't gonna work for this guy no more. I'm pretty powerful. I could do my own damn thing.